Yeah, I mean, listen, these guys have done a great job. You know, it's you know, when you've got this type of talent, you've got a great chance to have a good power play. And you know, these guys have certainly done a great job working together. And you know, obviously, you have some peaks and valleys during the course of the season. We've gone through a little bit of a rut here, the second half of the season. But I think lately we've done a really good job rebounding. And you know, to your point, we've just moved pucks quickly. We've had a low ice mentality. And you know, it's just you know, like I said, when you got this type of talent, you got a chance to have a good power play.
Seth, far right.
Just any status on Rutger McGorty? He left again in the second period, I believe.
So they're gonna keep.
Any status on Rutger McGorty? He left
Yeah,
again
still
in the
being
second period.
evaluated. It's a lower body injury.
Josh on the left.
Well, I wanted to ask you about the season you think Eric has had. You obviously have a relationship with him that goes back to before Pittsburgh. I think there's probably some good and some bad in his game this year. Well, where do you think his game is right now?
Well, I think like our team in general and you know, some individuals, Eric's had some really good stretches, really long stretches, and stretches where I think he'd like to play better. And, you know, I think it's really a microcosm of our season in a lot of ways. He's still an elite talent. You know, obviously his offensive ability speaks to itself for itself, but you see in situations he's got the ability to defend too. And, you know, it's why he's a three-time Norris Trophy winner and a guy that scored 100 points. And, you know, quite an accomplishment tonight. When you score 200 goals in this league as a defenseman, that's an awful lot of goals. And, you know, I'm just really happy for him.
Mark on the left.
Coach, Kevin Hayes got a couple goals tonight, 13 and 14 on the year. He's turned into a fairly steady bottom six contributor, hasn't he?
He has. He's a big body. He's a guy that can really make plays offensively, protects the puck really well, and obviously a guy that, you know, was a glue in our locker room. He's got a great personality, and, you know, he's been a big addition for us in a lot of ways.
Taylor in front.
I want to ask about Billy Koivunen and just your impressions of him and how he's able to fit in on that power play, playing with some top talent.
Well, one thing he has is swagger on top of ability too, and, you know, if you're gonna be successful in this league, you better think you're good, and, you know, with a little bit of humility, and he has both of that. You know, he's a guy that plays with an awful lot of confidence and swagger, but there's a humility to him as well. But, you know, when you think the game he does, the way he does, it makes it look easy for him to step in the situation that we put him in. But that being said, he's also earned this opportunity.
Three more, Jason in front.
David, have you picked out any differences with Tristan Jarry when he left versus when he came back, just observing his game, just how much you sort of respect what he's gone through and, you know, what's up shutouts?
Yeah, I mean, he's done a heck of a job since he's been back, and it wasn't an easy situation for him when the season started. A guy of his stature to be able to go down to Wilkes-Barre and, you know, have the first half of the season that he's had, and, you know, to come back and set himself right, get himself right. He's done a lot of work with Chico. Chico's done a really good job with him, getting him back on track. Like I alluded to earlier, you know, there are peaks and valleys in everybody's careers. It's not, everybody doesn't have great years and great stretches, but, you know, to be able to rebound the way he has the second half certainly speaks volumes to how far he's come and his mental toughness.
Justin on the far right.
David, you obviously go way back with Mike Sullivan. Does your relationship with him, does that make it easier to maybe offer a dissenting opinion here? Is it more challenging to do so? Just how overall has been the dynamic of working with Mike Sullivan this season?
Seamless, really. You know, obviously we've got a long friendship. You know, there's a lot of respect personally and professionally. We've talked an awful lot, and, you know, we're not brothers, contrary to what everyone believes. We talk alike and look alike, but we're not related. And you know, it's you know, we look at the game in a similar way, but we also have our different take on it. So, you know, there's it's a healthy relationship professionally where we can, you know, we can disagree respectfully and have healthy conversations.
Last one all the way in the back, Kelsey.
So Matt Grzelcyk came from Boston last season. He had a little bit of a down season. Just has he met your expectations this season in terms of, you know, what was set for him in the beginning? And how crucial has he been to this power play's resurgence this season?
Yeah, he's done a really good job on the power play. It's not an easy situation to step into, but I think he's had a heck of a year. You know, he had a really good career in Boston. Last year was a little bit of a down year for him, but you know, health had something to do with it. But you know, I think he's really done a great job taking advantage of the situation that he's been presented with here, and he's earned everything he's gotten. You know, obviously he's done a really good job on the power play. He's played big minutes for us, and You know, I think defensively, he's gotten better and better as the season has gone on, so, you know, we're fortunate to have him. He's really done a good job here.
Thanks, Quinn.
Thank you.
Sound.